Squeezing out the rag. You want to squeeze it out. You don't want to be swapping water everywhere. And then I just clean. Notice how they open up their legs, give you a little bit more room. I just clean the teeth. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, just give a little clean of the teeth. Then I'm going to turn the machine on and plug her in. I'm going to open the valve so it lines up with the hose. Position it so the line isn't twisted, otherwise it puts a little torque. And I'm going to guide each teeth into the top. See? That's all there is to it. And this is the typical crouch that they do to give their babies more access. So it's perfectly normal for her to crouch like that. Now, you're going to watch to see when the milking slows and stops. And I like to watch this little Y right here. See where I'm pointing? This little Y is where you can best see if the milk is still coming out of the udder. Further down the hose, a little of the milk will stay in there just because of gravity, and will move a little bit because of the action of the pump. But don't be fooled by that. It doesn't necessarily mean there's still more milk coming out of her udder. It doesn't take very long. I use this time just to sometimes give a little loving on the go to monitor her condition. She's thin from having triplets, but she's catching up. She's got a nice coat. And it's not unusual for one side of the udder to milk out more quickly than the other side. That's normal. So make sure both sides are done before you remove the unit. Now it slows down to barely a trickle. There's only a little milk coming out of one side, so I just bounce the udder a little bit, rub it a little bit, bounce it a little bit. That's what her kids would do. They would really, actually they'd be quite rough, and they'd really slam into her udder. I don't do that. So I just give it a little rub and a little bump. Get a little bit more milk coming out. Now she's done with her grain. Give her about half a scoop of alfalfa. I don't know if you noticed, but I moved her face out of the way with one hand while I poured. Otherwise, the alfalfa pellets will go everywhere. Her left side's a little slower, just like her mother. All right, so now I'm going to close that valve, the one that lines up with the hose, the red switch. Completely closed. I'm going to hold on to the unit and then just give a little squeeze of the teeth, not even a squeeze, just break the vacuum and pull each one out. Okay? I like to get the milk out of the line. I just open it, open the valve for a second, and then close it. Shut the machine off and hang it up. Now I'm going to dip her teeth. I fill this about halfway. Don't just come at her with this. Make sure she knows you're coming. So touch the udder. Just guide the teeth into the cup. You see that? And I just dip the very tip. Because milking leaves the orifice wide open. And these are animals, so, you know, she's probably going to go down to the barn and lay down in the dirt. Or in the winter in her bedding. And she's going to have that wide open teat on the ground, so we just want to make sure until it seals, it naturally will seal itself with a little waxy substance. We want to make sure that it's less likely to invite germs into the udder and create a problem with mastitis. So she's about done with her pellets, so just to make my life a little quicker and easier, I'm going to let her out. She's not going to come out until she's done, so I'm going to take this out. Make sure there's enough left to keep her busy while I set the next one up. Some goats I just block with my knee while I get that in. I'll let her finish that up, and then I'll go get the next goat.